Hello there, kia ora. In narrative storytelling, we've got this concept called verisimilitude. It's essentially the idea that what you're watching or reading has the quality of seeming true or having the appearance of being real. It's a tool that we as humans use to suspend disbelief so we can watch superheroes saving New York or Star War battles in the sky or hobbits throwing rings into Mount Doom. We know it's a construction, but we can suspend disbelief because the world that's created is enough for us to go, yeah, that makes a lot of sense within the narrative structure that we're looking at. Really great tool for being able to ensure verisimilitude is performance. And there are ways that you can break verisimilitude, like dropping a microphone, for example, in the screen or reflection in the mirror of a camera. But performance is one of the key things that are needed to ensure that verisimilitude is kept. And we saw a great example of that in 1982's Sophie's Choice, starring Meryl Streep. In that film, she plays a migrant who's living in New York in the early 50s, dealing with a choice that Sophie had to make back when she was kept as a prisoner in Auschwitz during World War II. When she got there, she had to decide which one of her children would live and which one of her children would be taken to the gas chamber. An impossible, horrible choice that no parent ever would want to have to be in a position to make. And that performance is what holds that film together. It is stunning. It netted her second Oscar. We found out this week, though, that Chris Bishop, he ain't no Meryl Streep. Although Meryl Streep could play Chris Bishop. I mean, she's Meryl Streep. Also, this is her in Hook. She does a pretty convincing guy in drag if she wanted to, and all she'd need to do is stuff her mouth with cotton balls to be Chris Bishop. Anyway, he presented with us their version, the National Party version, of Sophie's Choice. And he did that by immediately cancelling the first home buyers grant, essentially saying, no, we need to make a decision between whether or not this money goes to those first home buyers or it goes on social housing. We think social housing is the one that's going to have the greater overall benefit. And it's a false dichotomy of a choice for a couple of reasons. First of all, well, it's all based on that report from Bill English and trying to get to be more profitable from Kāinga Ora. But the fact is, that report, it said exactly what the party wanted it to say, and they paid him $500,000 to say it, out of money for emergency housing funds. That's right. People who desperately need emergency housing probably missed out because this government wanted a report saying we need to do things to Kāinga Ora to make money. On top of that, you've also got the issue that no matter what the government says it needs to do or can't afford to do or wants to do, they have a $3 billion lodestone around their neck weighing them down. That $3 billion that they did when they first got into government to give back to landlords in backdated taxes. That's what they decided was the most important priority. Everything else is just deck chairs on the Titanic because that was the first thing that they did. That's what they told us was their top priority. So they want to sit there and say, well, we've only got a limited amount of funds and we had to get rid of this first home grant so that we could build more social housing, when in reality, if they actually wanted to do both, they could just put off those tax refunds and doing tax breaks for everybody else. It's just not a decision they want to make. I mean, the Prime Minister keeps telling us he's ready to make those tough decisions, but he's not willing to make the decision that's the toughest on the people who gave him the money, that he makes the most out of himself, who does the most to back his political parties. But he is willing to make the tough decisions that's going to hurt people trying to get on the property ladder, trying to hurt people that need the help the most. That's not a real Sophie's Choice. And the performance that we've seen this week that indicates that it is not Oscar worthy. Not at all. Wait, you're still here? It's over. Go find another video.